digital identity and life course study. So our project name is DIALCS. So the project represents a significant step in understanding how the technology will shape the construction of our digital identities over our lifetime. So we appreciate your interest and look forward to your feedback. So we are a diverse team from academia as well as industry, so specializing in technology, myself and Robin. Psychology, I think Maria. Criminology and sociology, mainly the Yongyu and David here today. So we collaborate for the evolving intersection of digital identities and individual life course. So our lives consist of a collection of digital interactions. So each piece capturing a unique stage of our existence, from the moment of birth, when our medical record first entered, create video games during our youth, as we mature. Our digital footprint expand, encompassing the identity we explore on online dating sites, for instance, to the professional personas we create on social network platforms. So each point represents a critical moment of interaction with technology that not only define who we are, so shapes online and offline. We have established both a long-term vision and a short-term aim. So as a long-term goal, we aim to investigate the impact of identity technology on online presentation of the self. To achieve this, we will conduct a life course study to measure changes in individual attitudes and behavior through the use of identity technology in the online environment. Well, working on this proof of concept project, we have endeavored to answer the following questions. So how do technical and social psychology perspectives conceptualize digital self-identity? What is the best methodology for a life course study to measure the impact of identity technology on the presentation of the self of ourselves? So furthermore, we have divided the preliminary project into two phases. So in phase one, we mapped theories of self to digital identity standards to identify so that we can identify the gap. In phase two, we propose like a methodology framework. So in terms of technical aspect, we adopt this UK digital identity and attribute trust framework as the baseline reference architecture, as you can see. So given that a majority of the responses to digital identity and digital identity and attributes consultation supported increasing the use of digital identity across the economy, we identify the conceptual framework and definitions required for the mapping task. Here is an example of concepts in the framework. So the role and information flows diagram shows how identity information flows from the issuer to the individual, then to the verifier, exchanging with a verifiable data registry for the purpose of registration and verification. So initially, we find so social psychological theories describe both personal and social identities in the physical environment. But by personal identity, we refer to an identity that cannot be influenced by others. By social identity, we refer to an identity associated with an individual's position in the social community or group membership. So the question here is, can we develop theories or frameworks to describe identities in a digital environment? So here we introduce the psychology theory that address the self in the physical environment. So these theories help explaining how individuals present themselves and the factors they consider when constructing their identity. So later we observe that the concept of self has been discussed in the digital environment. Um, additionally, some models of the self introduced initially in the physical environment have also been adopted in the digital environment, such as the gamification theory, which explains motivation for using digital platform. Finally, the highlighted self theories have been selected for this mapping practice, given their relevance and recency. So here is an example of our mapping work around digital identity, meaning like digital identity, meaning a digital representation of who a user is. So user can use their digital identity online or in person to verify their identity during interactions and transactions. Therefore, we have mapped several theories, including actual or real self. So this represents your perception of the attributes you believe you actually possess. Is how you see yourself currently. So self-concept. So a person's identity exists only in relation to other people and roles. So hyper-communication, so hyper-personal communication. In the digital environment, as a sender, you construct message about identities for the receiver, as well as social cognitive model. So this construction is related to social identity and is based on our social roles and relationships. So we, for instance, we shape ourselves based on social interactions, presenting ourselves with varying information as the environment changes. So using this method, we conduct a systematic mapping analysis of terminological disparity in digital self theories and digital identity framework. So our approach starts with the search, screening, and selection of relevant theories of self from social psychology, alongside standardized IT frameworks that related to digital identity. So the next step involves data extraction, where we record the conceptual and theoretical principles of each selected theory and IT framework. So this step is crucial for understanding each framework and theory in detail. And finally, three academics, two from IT and one from psychology, individually establish links between the conceptual and theoretical principles covered in social psychology and IT framework. So the linkage helps us to identify the overlaps and gaps between the psychosocial theories of self and the technical aspect of digital identity, providing a comprehensive mapping of these diverse fields. So as we shown before, five theoretical framework, five self theories were selected for the analysis. They are self-determination, self-discrepancy, social cognitive model, hyperpersonal communication model, as well as need to belong theory. Among the five proposed digital framework, so with UK digital framework as the baseline, we find there are actually 19 terms are common to all, and 8 are included in 4 out of 5 frameworks, and 3 terms appear in 3 IT frameworks. Additionally, 9 terms are exclusively found in the UK framework, and 1 term is unique to the W3 framework. So not only the gap we find across IT frameworks for digital identity, but also IT social psychology gaps as well. So with the UK digital identity concepts as the baseline again, so we conduct cross-domain mapping. So mapping the technical terms to selected psychological theories. From the result, we can see that each IT concept has at least one corresponding mapped. So combining these sets of mapping results, mapping across IT frameworks, as well as mapping between digital identity concepts and psychological concepts. Here is a comprehensive visualization illustrating the conceptual convergence between psychological theories and digital identity IT frameworks. So the result suggests that social psychological factors should be considered in the future development of the digital identity framework. So in the second part, we propose the digital identity over the live force, which is the framework. So the first step involves consultation with domain experts. So 27 researchers and professionals, data science, survey statistics, human computer interaction, criminology, cyber defense, and data governance were invited to participate. And the first meeting addressed the questions concerning the digital identity technical framework, while the second meeting focused on practical areas of methodology. So based on the collective suggestions, we envision DIALCS should not only recording quantitative data from participants over time, but also capturing qualitative insights from smaller samples of respondents, probably between 15 and 20 participants in each wave. So this approach was recommended by participants in our consultation meetings and would build on ongoing data collection within the UK government. So the questionnaire was designed alongside relevant stakeholders working in public sectors organizations such as DCMS, International Organization for Standardization, Home Office, the SIT, and police forces to ensure its content relevant both to researchers and as well as policymakers. So the general screening form include questions related to the use devices, platforms, perceptions of digital technologies, digital identity technologies, digital literacy, digital self-protection, experience with digital technologies. So for every new digital identity identified in the general screen, digital will ask participants follow-up question about a set of attributes. So digital identity form include questions about attributes of each digital identity, such as age, gender, ethnicity, primary language, nationality, and so on. So next is sampling approach and data collection. So this is our estimation about the sample size. So a random sample of participants will be drawn at an early age, particularly we suggest at the age of 10. So strata are formed based on country, for instance, in England and Wales, ethnicity, income, and sex. So with 930,449 residents aged over 9 and under 11 in England and Wales. So ideal sample size with a confidence level of 95% would be 385. So with at least 10 consecutive waves. An ideal sample size of 11,761 respondents as wave 1 to account for a probable average 40% of attrition rate. So this is the sampling and data collection. So to summarize, in this project, we identify the overlaps and gaps existing across digital identity IT frameworks, as well as between technology and social psychological domains. So this means not only the harmonization is demanded across IT frameworks, but also social technical frameworks. So should be considered when define the digital identity framework in the future. For instance, so this is the suggestion we propose in one of the manuscript currently under review. So digital identity should be described by the collective capability and enhanced dimensions. So for the next step, we will try to implement the preliminary results into the longitudinal study. So one is about research design, creating questionnaire based on 3 key aspects that we just mentioned. So engaging with stakeholders to make further contributions, such as the national level initiatives with DCMS and DSIT, involving in EU consultation actively, particularly addressing the updates needed for the UK framework, which has not been seen since 2023, and exploring some mapping exercise on a broader scale to include additional frameworks internationally. Also identify some collaborative opportunities and funding opportunities with the suitable agencies like ESRC, AHRC, or maybe EU Horizon program to support and continue our research activity. Thank you.